we live? Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ review number 226. I am the moderator, Virtue, being joined by this week's elite panel, of course, Aaron Rift, Walter Cruz, and Big G. And if I freeze or skip it all, people, I apologize. I have to update some internet equipment this week, so I'm doing my best with what I got until I can get that done. But here we are, live, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, prime time. Big G, what up?
I'm doing pretty good. Had the Sunday off today, which I loved. Walter, I'm digging the whole Batman background in the back there. I dig it. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good. You know, we came up with some topics late in the evening, but here we are with number 226 of the NoDQ review. And as I always say, let's get this ball rolling, baby.
Let's do it. All right, good to have you on. Shout out to Colin the Cleaver Andrew in the chat. I know he's coming back soon, maybe as soon as next week. We will see, but shout out to Colin. Now over to you, Walter. What's up?
How's everybody doing? I was working on my shtick thing. Haven't hit enter yet. But other than that, I'm doing well and just ready for the video to start and see what interesting super chats we get.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, too. I kind of put on Twitter what our topics were going to be tonight. I asked for topics this week because I'm like, it's heading into WrestleMania. What do we talk about? It's just the same thing over and over again. So we got some interesting ones. And, of course, if people super chat stuff that we're not going to discuss, we'll obviously discuss it. So over to you, Aaron. What's up?
Just got back from California, back on the East Coast. Last week was a little change of pace. We're back in our normal time slot. And Big G, we saw that comment from Michael Wayne. Yes, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, did pick up a big win. He's going to Revolution. Are you going to Revolution, Big G, to see your idol, Jeff Jarrett?
I'm not going to California, no.
Wouldn't you like to go to San Francisco?
No.
Oh, it's
come on. Tony Khan booked it just for you.
Yeah, he did.
Apparently.
When is Revolution? Is it a Sunday?
It is a Sunday, which means we'll have to change the night of the NoDQ review.
Yeah, so there you go.
We might be able to compete. It's AEW. It's not WWE.
Well, I gotta cover the pay-per-view, buddy.
No, I know. I just had to go there.
Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in a $2 super chat, says, can you keep a secret by saying yes to NoDQ? I like that. Thank you for that, Dr. Dakota Scorpio. little nod to Bray Wyatt, and there's teasers about that. Possible members joining his faction. We'll see what happens. And Walter sent us $5, says, say yes to NoDQ, please like and share the video, hashtag #FeelMerchy, hashtag stick to my shtick. Thank you, Walter, much appreciated, and welcome back to the panel tonight, and let's get into it.
Let's get into it, gentlemen. So we'll see what the NoDQ Galaxy might super chat, because there's a lot of little like subtopics and stuff we can talk about, you know, from Aaron, you know, in the NoDQ's Twitter account, and different interesting things that wrestlers say, you know, certain persons' annual awards that he gives out, and I'm sure we'll touch base with that. But first thing is first, let's get the cat out of the bag here on the first topic. And Big G, no agreeing, because I'm coming to you first, so I don't know what you're going to say, but is Vince McMahon, like, we know he's back on the board, they're trying to sell this. And just the way that he did it, the master manipulator, the way he is back in power of the board of directors to see how this company is going to sell. When you're there and you're back as the board of directors, you're still in charge of everybody again. And remember, we thought he was never coming back because of the things that he did, how he used WWE's money, and yet he's back, Big G. And so we have to start thinking. We know Triple H is still in charge of creative from what we know. Right. But have we started seeing things or rumors of the moles that make us start thinking, hey, maybe Vince McMahon is starting to get his influence again? And I could give you examples, and I'm not going to right now, of what I think, why he could be influencing creative again. What do you think, Big G? We want to talk about Vince McMahon.
I mean,
creative influence right now, and who knows what's going to happen.
Hold on, Big G. Before you go, did anybody else think that Vince McMahon was in the background in Raw? Like when I forgot who it was walking towards, there was like somebody in a suit turned around in the background when he was walking.
Yeah,
I swear I thought that was Vince McMahon. I was like,
somebody posted
on WWE TV, and no, he's back. But what do you think, Big G?
I mean, I really haven't seen anything specifically change just yet. If Vince is back in, not in full creative charge of creative, but just whispering in Hunter's ears, giving him a little bit of not inside information, but like little things in his ear to say, okay, well, this is working out, but you can tweak it here a little bit, or you can tweak it there a little bit. One thing people have noticed, saying that we might be getting Lesnar versus Omos at WrestleMania now, and people are saying that that's a Vince thing. But I mean, like I said, I really haven't picked up on anything. I haven't really read anything about Vince being 100% back in charge of creative, but we'll see later down on the road to see if it's true. And like I said, it could just be he's whispering in Hunter's ear, giving him little tips and tricks just to tweak things here and there.
I mean, is it tips and tricks, though? Now, Big G, like, you have Bray Wyatt feuding with LA Knight for the better part of, like, 3 months. Yeah. And that that's a Triple H thing because LA Knight's a Triple H guy.
Right.
And then, like, all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt randomly wants to feud with Lesnar or Lashley.
Yeah.
And then we're here almost in the – like, I mean – I'm sorry, writing's on the wall. There's something going on, but you could, have your stance and think that it's still Triple H's thing, and until you have more concrete evidence, until Dave Meltzer reports it to you. I get it, fair enough. But
or Walter, Aaron reports it on NoDQ.com.
Well, yeah,
from Dave Meltzer.
All right, Walter Cruz, what's your thoughts here on Vince McMahon? I mean, again, it's his company until it sells, and even then. What's that sale going to look like? Is it going to be, Vince McMahon can be part of this, the management? Like, we don't even know. And it all depends on who it depends on who it sells for. Like, if Disney buys them, they don't want that PR with Vince McMahon and all the things that go on with him these days. But you just never know. What do you think?
We don't know how much is true that is he really trying to sell it for $8 billion?
Well, you always ask for way more, right?
Yes, that's the bidding war. Yeah. Yes, and that's that's business.
Always I think he really thinks he can get that, though. That's the thing.
I think so too, knowing him. But yeah, first rule of business of negotiation is to aim high and let them bring it lower. You always start at the highest that you can. But yeah, I think the whole almost thing versus Brock and the Wyatt versus Bobby, Wyatt versus Bobby, that has Vince McMahon's fingerprints all over it to me. I don't know. That's just a weird, random, out of nowhere thing. And I think he's never stopped being in Triple H's ear, to be honest. Even when he was out of the company, I'm sure he went to his father-in-law. He had to get phone calls, text messages saying, this is good shit, pal. Don't do this and do that. Getting random text messages or something. Triple H might have the final say, but Vince is always going to be in the background in the air. And who wouldn't pick someone who's owned a business for so long and done so long? Who wouldn't pick at their brain? It would be dumb to completely ignore him and not. No matter what you feel about him personally or what he says, he's still an intelligent businessman. He knows what he's doing. He ran the company for years. You got to take advice. You can't just pretend he doesn't exist. This isn't the Chris Benoit situation where you can pretend somebody doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, though, Vince has made like history with great booking decisions and being an innovator in sports entertainment and making wrestling global. But we're all like in the same bubble. We'll admit he's made a lot of lousy ones too. I mean, look at WWE before the Attitude Era, the 95 era. That was horrible. Like, with the exception of a few things.
It was,
but so
that was more of a roster issue, though. He just didn't have enough. Everybody was leaving the WCW. He didn't have enough to work with.
Wow,
at least he was smart enough to recognize.
Was it a roster issue? Because with that same roster, I mean, look what happened a couple years later. He was still losing a few people.
Yeah,
to
but he was smart enough to recognize he had to go with that new generation, and he started the whole Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels being over. He started with the younger, flashier, top rope people, instead of these big muscular Hulk Hogan's. He knew times were changing, and he was smart enough to flip it. And you can say that about anybody. That there's good with the bad. Vince Russo, for all the crap he booked a couple of good things. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but some things that's just the same with bookers. You can't hit and miss.
1998 Survivor Series. I'm bringing Chris Jericho to WWE. I mean, there you go. One and two.
Everybody does good with bad. I mean, for all the mistakes WCW did in '97, look how hot they were in '96. So, I mean, it all comes with the territory.
All right, Aaron, anything that you would like to add with Vince McMahon? I mean, I still believe until he has sold WWE and the new owners want nothing to do with him, or he's sick or passed away, Vince McMahon will always have influence with WWE. And we talked about this when all the crap was hitting the fan over the summer. I said, hey, it's just a matter of time. And here we are. We talk about it still, and he's technically back with the company.
Yeah. Now there are
Aaron?
rumors about Vince McMahon, and there are people that are within WWE that are reportedly denying this, that he's not in charge. Is that damage control? Is that them trying to downplay the whole report? Who knows? I mean, there are a few little signs that Vince might be still involved. People are pointing to the Omos match. Now, perhaps it's just a situation where Brock Lesnar turned down other matches that were proposed. Remember, there was this talk about Steve Austin possibly coming back, and Austin reportedly turned it down. Maybe they just felt like they had no other options for Brock, and perhaps the best thing for him was to go out there and have a spectacle. Destroy Omos, pick him up, give him an F5. That's a WrestleMania moment, Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. Brock Lesnar giving Omos the F5. It would be a cool moment. And let's face it, it's not going to be much of a match. It'll be like 3 minutes. I don't think it's a troll job. I really think they just don't have anybody else. So when in doubt, just put him in there with Omos and give him a big guy that he can beat up. Simple as that.
It gives the rest of the card more time. Right, if Brock's only going to be out there less than 5 minutes with entrance, fans still get the pop for him. Maybe that happens. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he comes out there, beats up Omos. I mean, what else do you want? What do you want to see out of Brock Lesnar? You want to see him come out there and beat people up. Yeah. The fans love when he takes people to Suplex City, and the kids are going to love seeing Brock Lesnar throw around a giant. Like when Brock Lesnar threw around the Big Show, that was entertaining, right? So
it'll be a sight to see how long Omos is on the shoulders and get flipped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be terrible. I suspect it'll be very short, and it'll be fun. Brock Lesnar beating up a giant.
And it could be a whole completely different situation where it's just designed to have the Hurt Business reform on the grand stage, and they just leave. The match ends in a DQ or whatever, but they just lay out Brock Lesnar. Think about that. Brock Lesnar laid out like he normally does to people. Hurt Business could look strong as a group if they put the right people together. MVP,
and Aaron,
Bobby Lashley again, Omar, whoever is in the group. But
question for all of you: would you open with that match? Because it's going to be the weakest one on the card.
Sure. Brock wants to get in and get out. That's how he is.
Yeah.
And you got two times to open with it. Night 1 or night 2.
Yeah. So, I would open with it because I think it's probably going to be the weakest match.
Yep.
We do have some super chats. Some super chats. So let's get to those. First off, Dwayne Atkinson sent in $5. Thank you, Dwayne. Much appreciated. It says, welcome home, Aaron. How was the snow in California? There was no snow. For most of the time I was there, it was sunny. It wasn't until the last day that it started to rain, and it did not get to the point where it was going to snow in the valley. It was snowing in the mountains, though, which is very rare. The mountains surrounding Los Angeles almost never get any kind of snow. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to see even just a little bit of snow in the mountains. So yeah, they got hit with a little bit of a winter storm. So thank you for that, Dwayne.
It snowed where my farm is. It collapsed one of the greenhouses.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not harvest time right now, so it didn't do any damage besides just having to put it back up.
And Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, Vince is the guy who would rather pass away at work than fade away into the sunset. He can't see himself away from WWE. And that's what we always thought about him, right?
Yep.
We always thought he would stay until the end of his life, pretty much.
I said he's one of those elderly people. There's just some people where they got to stay busy, they got to work, and the moment they stop, that's when they pass away. Like they're like addicted to working. It's like the moment they get rest or something, it's like that. Then they clock out.
Yep, that's a good point. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Now is Brock Lesnar versus Omos my ideal match? No. I'd rather see Brock Lesnar versus Gunther, but perhaps they have a different plan for Gunther, and Gunther versus Drew McIntyre or a triple threat with Sheamus. That'll be great. I'm sure that will be fun to watch. Brock Lesnar, you could argue that it's a misuse of him, that they're wasting him for WrestleMania. But at the end of the day, if he comes out there and destroys a big guy and the crowd is happy, the 55, 60,000 fans in the building. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what counts. You want to make your paying fans happy, and you want that WrestleMania moment. Brock Lesnar F5ing Omos, WrestleMania moment right there. So I got nothing else to really say about it. It could be worse for sure. Dwayne Atkinson sent in a $2 super chat, says, if Omos starts dancing, then y'all can start worrying. Yeah, very true. He could become the next Great Khali and become entertainer, so to speak. They could have him do the big viscera routine. He could be the love machine. Like, there's a lot of goofy things they could do with Omos, which they still may end up doing. But if he does end up doing those things, then yeah, that could be a sign that Vince is back in charge. Because for the most part, Triple H has gotten rid of a lot of the cheesy Vince comedy that we've seen over the years.
Yeah, he has. It's definitely calmed down.
Psycho Jet Black sent in $2, says Bray Wyatt versus Omos in a McDonald's Happy Meal match. Another possible sponsored match for WrestleMania.
No more sponsored matches, please. No more.
Well, expect one because they got a good deal with Mountain Dew. I think they're going to try to.
They could still make it good. Just because you're like putting something together with a sponsor, you don't have to make it cheesy. You could still make it good, help the sponsor out, make fans remember it. Just be creative.
Why is a toy company never sponsoring, man? Don't they got a good deal with one of the toy company? What is it?
You know what? I don't know. We'll see. We got to get the full WrestleMania card first.
Yeah. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. So thank you for the super chat, Psycho Jet Black. And he's got another one here. He says, seriously, what about Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Too soon, Walter. I would say so.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's not ready for it.
I would say WrestleMania 40. No,
yeah, seriously.
I think, give him a year.
I think you got to get him on the main roster first, slowly build him up, and then maybe you could do Brock Lesnar for next year.
Yeah, I don't think enough of the main roster of audience viewers that don't watch NXT know enough about Braun to care. Like, you gotta get it.
I'm throwing this out there, but the pictures are starting to leak. Gable Stevenson's getting chiseled. And when you're an amateur wrestler, you don't do that because it messes with your ability. That's a completely different. It's a sport. He's getting chiseled. He's getting tatted. I'm telling you, he's still in WWE's plans. I know it. I think he had to get out of that amateur wrestling bubble. So that's another. And who knows how they're going to use him? Are they going to make him come up through NXT? Is he just going to be like Logan Paul coming in as a special attraction? I mean, we don't know yet.
He's drafted to Raw already, wasn't he?
Dude, the guy can do a backflip. He can do a backflip, and he had charisma with amateur wrestling crowds after he won his matches, and then he'd do a backflip, put his arms in the air. The guy has charisma. People that say he's boring, he made amateur wrestling fans pop. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that they are waiting until he's ready, and then he'll be on Raw. I don't think they're going to put him in NXT.
Dude, the tats and the chiseledness, though, that's getting that's
he's going to be a big deal. But I think they want to wait until he's ready, and they want to train him behind the scenes and not put him out there on TV until he's ready for prime time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Any more super chats, Aaron?
Yeah. Let me get back to this one here from Psycho Jet Black. Oh, Logan Paul lost his boxing match.
Or Jake Paul?
Don't care.
Jake Paul.
Did he get knocked out, or was it a decision?
You said Logan.
Oh, well, see, I care so little about Jake Paul.
I forgot.
Logan Paul.
Well, how did he lose? Did he get knocked out, or was it like decision or TKO?
I have no idea.
Nobody knows. Somebody in the chat.
He finally lost one, huh?
All right, let's get to this Psycho Jet Black super chat. It's been lingering here for a while. He says, seriously, does anybody care about Bray Wyatt promos if he doesn't have good matches? It's like he forgot that he's a wrestler and not an actor. Virtue, you've talked about Bray Wyatt a lot. What are your thoughts on that? Do you care if he has good matches?
Because I know he can wrestle, and he has wrestled. And so I want the whole, just do what you need to do to start wrestling with the lights on and make all those people shut up, because he can have good matches. I'm getting to that point because I want to see those haters be shut up, and I know it can happen. But the problem is, creatively, that's how they're booking him. They're making him do this stuff with having his weird matches, not often wrestling. You know what I mean? Put him out there. Make it happen. So
people were saying split decision loss.
Okay, so that's not the end of the world. He can, he didn't get knocked out. People want to see him.
We can move on now.
All right. We're going to move on. This is kind of just a quick topic. Like, I made a mistake, and we talked about Tony Khan in the main event last week, and yeah, I know we were off of our regular time, but Tony Khan, man, he ain't a draw. But like, here's the problem, guys. We've talked about this. He's doing the Dixie Carter, promising big decisions, big announcements, just so you would tune into Impact, or in this case, Dynamite, and he's not delivering. Outside of the CM Punk thing, which he technically didn't announce, it was still a guessing game. We just all knew. These decisions absolutely suck, and it popped a number. People were curious, hey, is CM Punk going to come back, or what's going to happen on Dynamite? Tony Khan said he has something big to tell us. It got just over 1 million again, and then it's like this TV show, and he had Adam Cole involved with it. Walter, Tony Khan just, like, he needs to stop these things, man. Like, his idea of good television is just booking long wrestling matches, and I know there's a fan base for that loves that. But when have they popped those ratings? And when I say pop, it's barely. It's you go from 850,000 to 1 million. It's when he's teasing these announcements. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a good
it's
look.
never going to reach
What
the
do you
level of when it's never going to reach the level again of when Punk debuted. That was their biggest. They're never going to reach that again. And
I was like, my God, let's have something about CM Punk, or just a little teaser or something.
I said it last week that we were going to be disappointed that he's got to stop these teasers and then under-deliver. Like, don't overpromise and then under-deliver. That's what he keeps doing. And then he didn't even make the announcement. He had Adam Cole do it, thinking that was going to drive a bigger pop, and that didn't even work. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't run a company. I mean, probably for him for doing this, but he's got to change something. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's the definition of insanity, trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Isn't that what Einstein said?
And look, there's a certain subsection of a niche fan base that reads a particular dirt sheet writer that said this guy is Booker of the Year. I mean, come on.
His idea of booking is just everybody bleeds. That's what he thinks.
That's how you become Wrestler of the Year. You become Wrestler of the Year by bleeding. Clearly.
Or matches, because didn't he make Bryan Danielson wrestle all these matches just to have an MJF match?
I think last week, what was it? 3 or 4 people were busted open. And then you did the Jericho segment, and Aaron said it on his review that it doesn't have that impact because you got freaking, why can't I even think right now? You got I almost said Dean Ambrose instead of his current name. But if he
John
bleeds
Moxley,
every week,
2022 Wrestler of the Year. Get it right, Walter.
Moxley bleeds so much that now blood doesn't have the same impact. If he didn't bleed every week and you did that Jericho segment, then people would get into it and it would have some kind of effect. But it's almost like we become numb to it. Like it doesn't mean anything. Blood is supposed to bring an angle, and then it's like, you can't do first blood matches in AEW. You can't do stuff like that because it's like, who gives a damn? They bleed anyways. So it's like, that's his idea of booking, bleed.
Yep. We've become so numb.
Big G.
Yes.
Any thoughts on this? Yeah, because were you on the review last week? I can't remember.
No, I was not.
All right, so we did talk about Tony Khan. This is at least your chance here to add whatever you want.
I mean, he comes up with these big announcement things, and some of them have been okay. Well, the Forbidden Door one he didn't even announce because Adam Cole interrupted that too. And now AEW has another show, that's coming out after AEW, and it's like Tony has too many shows to focus on. He just brought back Ring of Honor, he's got that going on. He's got Rampage, he's got Dynamite. There's a thing about them doing house shows now. It's like, dude, focus on your main show, Dynamite, and try to get your numbers up in ratings to keep them at the same level every single week, about 1 million viewers or whatever. But I don't know, even as a big AEW fan that I am, there are some things that I'm starting to dislike with AEW, and Walter nailed it pretty well with the blood situations. Like, every week we see somebody bleeding now. I'm like, come on. Like, I'm even getting tired of it.
Ooh.
So, and like freaking Double J Jeff Jarrett won a match on Wednesday. What the hell, Tony?
I mean, there you go. Booker of the Year right there, Big G. I mean, let's be real here. Do I have to put up the picture
No,
again?
please don't. No.
He did already, though, didn't he? Yeah.
But yeah, AEW's coming back to Baltimore in May. Of course, I'm going because I'm still gonna watch AEW and stuff like that.
Jeff Jarrett will be there, yeah.
But yeah, there's little things here and there that Tony needs to focus on and not make these big announcements when it's just a TV show that he's putting on after Dynamite. He could have just went on Twitter and said, "Hey, we got a new show coming on,"
And here's a problem, Big G. He and like the wrestlers under that AEW bubble are acknowledging these awards, and that just screams they're only there to cater to the niche.
Yeah, because
they're acknowledging that.
Honestly, I liked it when John Moxley came to AEW. I can't stand Moxley anymore.
Ooh.
He's like, I don't know. It bothers me. Like, with the whole blood thing, it's like every single week he bleeds. Like, who cares? He's in the same feuds with that. I don't know. I'm just, man.
He's just
stop me. Somebody else go before.
He's stealing Mick Foley's shtick. He's stealing Mick Foley's shtick.
And like you said, Walter, they can't have any like first blood matches, anything in AEW.
But Foley bled. It meant something. Moxley just
that's what I'm saying.
Dynamite doesn't mean anything.
Still, the best bleeder was Ric Flair. The way when it mixed into his hair is just it was Ric Flair's the best bleeder.
Just sit back, cool down. We got some other topics. I'm going to pass it over to Aaron. Some super chats came in. This was a filler topic anyway, so Aaron, over to you.
I mean, look at this picture one more time. Sorry, Big G, but I have to make a point here.
It's like this is the rib of the year for me.
When did this happen, by the way? 2022
in Baltimore.
Booker of the Year, book that.
Yeah, the Booker of the Year put Jeff Jarrett out there, and look at you. Look at the excitement on your face.
I know. I was not expecting Double J to be on my television set.
Okay, so as far as Tony Khan goes and the important announcements, they really need to stop with that, because every time he does that, it makes the fans think, oh, this is going to be something huge, and then it turns out to be a disappointment. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing a reality show. Like, it's continuing roads to the top without Cody Rhodes. That's fine. Try to expand your audience. I get it. But they should have just said it. Just have the announcement on Dynamite. Hey, we're doing this reality show. They don't need to hype it up. Important announcement from Tony Khan. Like when they do that, they're just setting themselves up to be mocked and have people call them out. And it's just not a good look, in my opinion. People remember when Dixie Carter, whatever her name is.
You got it. Either or.
When she did the same thing, she would hype up all these game-changing announcements. Remember the August 1st warning, which turned out to be Tito Ortiz. They did all of these little teasers, like these big announcements that meant nothing, and Impact became a laughingstock. And I fear that the same thing is already starting to happen with AEW. And just don't do it. Just go out there, make the announcement. Don't say anything in advance. But you know what? They pop the rating, but it's not going to last forever. Eventually, people are going to catch on and know that it's not going to mean anything. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. And yes, no DQ awards. That's the one that matters because anybody can vote on it. The other awards, only a certain group of people can vote, and those people, they're not big WWE fans. Just throwing that out there.
And who knows if they even take bribes?
Yeah, I mean, people, it is what it is. But yeah, with the no DQ awards, anybody can vote. If you're an AEW fan, a WWE fan, if you like both, if you like neither, you can vote on the no DQ awards. If you live in the United States, if you live in Canada, if you live in Russia, China, anywhere on the planet, you can vote in the no DQ year-end awards. That's what's great about it. It's not limited to a specific group of people that are a specific type of fan.
Hold on. If I was Tony Khan, to keep 1 million viewers every week, I would keep on saying, all right, big announcement coming, big announcement coming, big announcement coming, big announcement, for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then have that,
But make sure it's a big announcement, though. Yeah.
I would bring
CM Punk.
If I was him, I would bring Phil Brooks up and say, listen, we got to turn this into a storyline. What happened? Everybody, bygones be bygone. That's the only way you're going to do some kind of big program where everybody gets into it.
I mean, me and my buddies went to Chicago to Rampage just on a hunch of CM Punk being there.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a big announcement or an important announcement that CM Punk, or even like a streaming deal or something like that, like a reality show.
Yeah.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says CM Punk will come back when the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega leave. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. Apparently, Kenny Omega's contract is up at the end of the year, and the Bucks, their contracts could be up soon as well. We'll see what happens if they jump. Now, here's another on that topic. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Says, is Tony Khan screwed if the Elite jump ship? If Omega and the Bucks left, would it be the end for AEW? What do you think, Walter?
I don't think it'll be the end, but it'll be a big, big blow. This is when you got to take home. You got to take your home talent and make them superstars, the homegrown people, and just grow them. Stop depending on ex-WWE guys.
I don't think it would be. I mean, you might make those fans a little angry initially, but then you got MJF still. Now that's key, right? You got to make sure you keep him. Now you can push Wardlow. Now maybe CM Punk could come back. Now you can make Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson look better. They got outs without the Elite. That's for sure.
It might have the reverse effect. The first couple of weeks, everybody will tune in to see what he does to counter that, or like what can he. So I don't know,
but we'll see. Aaron, any other super chats?
No, I think we're caught up here.
Okay, so moving on here, and this kind of all packages into one deal, but this topic. So as you can see, we're going to talk about life after Roman Reigns as the champion when presumably Cody wins it. We will talk to that at some point. But first, before we even kind of think that, these Sami Zayn chants, could they become a problem here with the Roman and Cody program going into WrestleMania? Because from what we know, at some point they'll put Sami and Kevin Owens back together and they will feud the Usos. That's still going to be great, compelling. It's still the bloodline. But how do you defer those? Because remember Daniel Bryan, it was Daniel Bryan, right? Because he wasn't Bryan Danielson in WWE. They actually course corrected that when Batista won the Royal Rumble, Daniel Bryan was feuding with the Wyatts, and the next thing you know, he beats Triple H at WrestleMania and he's in the main event winning the title in New Orleans. They actually did that, okay? Triple H was involved with that. Who's head of booking right now? So, Big G, Sami Zayn chants, man, could this force WWE to change WrestleMania plans? Or if not, maybe let's just get through WrestleMania. Hopefully it doesn't sabotage Cody too much. We'll put the tag titles on Sami and Kevin, and maybe Kevin or Sami Zayn can get back in that mix in the summertime if Roman goes away for a while, whoever. But what's your thoughts here?
So, I mean, we're literally we're literally almost like 5 weeks away from WrestleMania. So they have to make a decision. You know, we're still going to get the Sami chance every week that he's on SmackDown or Raw. You know, could they make a last minute decision of adding, you know, Sami Zayn to the triple threat or to the WrestleMania main event to make it a triple threat and have people turn on Cody when your main focus was having Cody Rhodes potentially beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Universal title. But, you know, on the other hand, you have the Usos, you know, who would they face at WrestleMania then, if not Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Because Sami and Kevin are the two logical choices because they have been feuding with the Bloodline. You know, well, KO has been feuding with the Bloodline for a while now. Sami just recently, but he's been with the Bloodline for the past year. And, you know, the Sami chance started, what was it, like back in the summertime or something like that, and they're still going, and it's WrestleMania season. People are behind Sami now. You know, it's all up to WWE and creative, honestly. You know, we just have to sit back and see how this thing plays out with SmackDown, you know, with Jey Uso in the middle of all this. I tell you, this whole Bloodline thing lately, they could turn this into a movie and it would like win an Oscar for Best Motion Picture.
Now,
like, honestly,
the Sami chants matter even more when they're happening when Cody's trying to cut a promo. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Walter Cruz, what would you like to add on this?
Yeah, I think that both stories are told so well, and they've been so patient with it that it caused us to have patience. And I don't think that the audience is gonna interfere with what's going on. They're not gonna overcheer Sami to the point where WWE has to change it. I think everybody's patient, and I think it'll all play out in WWE's favor. I don't think they're gonna need to change anything. I think more people want Sami and KO to reunite because of the way they told the story and go after the tag titles than him go after Roman for the world title. So it's like, I don't think they have anything to worry about. And I mean, he's from Canada. You saw the reaction he got in Canada. He's not, I don't think anywhere is going to match as big of a pop that he got in Canada. So I don't think it'll be take over. And they kept it, they were smart enough to not keep them separated, because if they kept them separated, the way that Sami and Cody acted together, if they try to keep them separated, it'll show that WWE was worried about that. The fact that they pulled them together immediately, put Paul Heyman in the story, it lets you know that WWE knows what they're doing.
Hey, and that's the thing, right? We got to watch how it plays out. But you still have to get everything in order to promote it. So, like, don't stretch it out too long to WrestleMania. And then, you know, if you do put Sami and KO together sooner, let's sort out the whole Jay stuff and let's get to that point now so you can start promoting that match. And then maybe fans will be like, oh, wow, okay, we don't need to necessarily chant Sami when Cody speaks. You know, Sami, he's in this. This is still compelling. And Sami's proved that, you know, maybe he can challenge. So what they need to do, like, this is what they need to do, Aaron. Cody needs to say during his promo, when I beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, Sami Zayn, you will be the first person that I will defend my title against, or I will definitely make sure I defend my title against you, and give that the fans would be like, oh, that's cool. We're going to probably see that if Cody goes over. Aaron, what do you think here?
I could see something like that happening. I think once we see Roman Reigns interact with Cody Rhodes people will start to get invested in that story. Up until this point, it's been Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes interacting. We haven't had Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in the ring at the same time yet. And now we're starting to see the Usos storyline with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens play out. And I think they'll be fine. I think at the end of the day, it was the right call. I just think that they should have done the J turn in Montreal for that heat. I'm sticking with that. However, I think at this point, Cody will be fine. And I think both storylines will be great going into WrestleMania. And I still think that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should be in the main event of night one. I know there's talk about Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania in the main event of night one. But I think Cody and Roman being on night two is the right main event. And I think that Sami Zayn and KO getting the main event spot on night one would be appropriate considering how much time has been put into this storyline. Like nothing else has touched it. With all due respect to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, I think you got to go with the tag team match at WrestleMania. And I've been wanting to see it, like going back to the fall, like they were doing the teases for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting. Like that's ultimately the match I've been wanting to see. And Sami just got so hot that you wanted to see Sami versus Roman, which they did. Now we move on. And yeah, maybe Cody Rhodes offers Sami Zayn a title match. And Building Nexus even said, could we see a segment where Sami Zayn endorses Cody Rhodes? You know, they may do a segment like that. I really don't think they need to at this point. I think we've moved on, but that is a possibility. So thank you for that super chat, Building Nexus. And I think we're caught up now.
Okay.
Do you think WWE will have the guts? You think they'll have the guts to maybe make Roman and Cody the main event of night one and do the tag the main event of night two?
Absolutely not. Roman Reigns is night two guaranteed. There's nobody taking that from him. All right, so see what I put for my little caption. It said Roman over Cody at WrestleMania, and I am this makes this topic hard for me to answer because I still do not even think that Roman will lose these titles. I think there's still too much at stake. Cody chasing, right? He's telling, finish the story. He can still do that heading into SummerSlam. I keep putting my timestamp on Roman's title reign at SummerSlam just because then Roman will hit 1,000 days with Universal. Cody can still go over strong. But at some point, whether it's WrestleMania or whether it's how I want it and it's at SummerSlam, it looks like Cody Rhodes will beat Roman Reigns to dethrone him and be the next champion. So we gotta think, who feuds with Cody then? Does Roman stick around and go back for his titles? Is he on hiatus? You take him out of the equation, we need to start having some names here. Sami Zayn I brought up earlier, right? That could be a good opportunity. Big G, I'm going to start with you. They're still going to have an issue if Cody holds both titles and they don't split them up. And maybe eventually they're never going to do that. But like, would they just kind of make one belt again like they did back in the day? To me, they're keeping the two title belts because they still have the idea of splitting them again at some point.
Yeah.
But one Cody win? Like if Cody comes out of this never becoming the champion, but I don't think that'll happen, then Triple H really doesn't like Cody Rhodes. So I'm even saying he will at some point. And if it happens at WrestleMania and I'm wrong, well, so be it. I'm wrong. I'm just sticking to my guns and saying not on that stage. But who's next for Cody if he's a champion?
I mean, okay, so we talked about this many times before.
Because Big G, if he loses and still chases Roman through the summer, you have more time to figure it out. I know it's always we're always talking about more time. Well, that's still more time. Gable Steveson would be back in the mix.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes could be something. Braun Breaker could be called up after WrestleMania. Yeah, but go ahead. True. Gunther, go ahead.
Yeah, Gunther, so there is a possibility that Cody could beat Roman Reigns. We don't know what the plans are for Roman Reigns after WrestleMania. If he wants to take time off after, you got to think about it. Roman Reigns has been champion for 800 some days now. By WrestleMania, it would be close to 900 or something like that. And he has a lot of weight on his shoulders right now, being their champion, stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyways, if Cody does win and becomes champion, I mean, you have the possibility. Somebody mentioned Gunther. That's a match we could see. There's the possibility that Randy Orton's coming back. We could see Cody versus Randy. Cody versus Matt Riddle. We discussed that before we were on the show. There's who else? Cody versus Drew McIntyre. Cody versus Bray Wyatt.
Cody versus Kenny Omega.
There's so many potential matches that we could see with Cody. They could even go back. Say Cody does win the championship. We could go back and they already had 3 matches, but we could see Cody versus Seth Rollins again. They have good chemistry in the ring, so why not have Seth Rollins take a crack at Cody Rhodes, for the title? So, but like I said before, we just have to see how Triple H and creative plan all this out. They got 5 weeks to come up with a good idea. If they do have Cody Rhodes win, they need to have him win clean. And if Roman Reigns wins and retains his titles, he needs to beat Rhodey clean and not have Solo or Jimmy or Jay in there, Like I said, Roman Reigns has been champion for 800 some days now. Who else does he have to face? He's beaten everybody in those 800 some days. Like, who else is there for Roman Reigns to win? You want fresh opponents for Cody and you want fresh opponents for Roman Reigns. But like I said, who else is there for Roman Reigns? Honestly, I mean, the whole bloodline story, you figure, it's like I said, could win an Oscar for best motion picture. Just how the story is continuing now, so with Jey Uso and stuff like that. So we'll see how everything goes in the next 5 weeks.
We'll see. That would be something if, I hate Roman, not winning clean because it's happened so much. That would be something. And at this point, I don't even know if I expect The Rock to even show up anymore. I mean, boy, how disappointed am I?
I gave up. I told you all. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he did.
I told you all.
Well, yeah, you jinxed it, is what you did. So,
I'm still not giving up.
You have heat with me because you put bad karma on.
And for gloating about it, Big G, I'm throwing this picture back up one more time.
If you want to see The Rock, go watch his show on NBC, Young Rock.
Dude, I would still love for Roman to go over clean against Cody, and then Rock's music hits at the end of WrestleMania, and he acknowledges him there. And that's my pipe dream. But all right, speaking of pipes, okay, Walter Cruz, over to you.
Wow, yeah, I would love The Rock to do that and then acknowledge him. Or I'm trying to think of how you would book that. But what's next for Cody? Well, I mean, I think he's got to face the money. Whoever the Money in the Bank winner is, whoever wins that, I think we'll see a more clearer direction of what they're going to do after WrestleMania if Cody wins. I mean, Sami, hopefully by then will have the tag title, so I don't think he would win the Money in the Bank. But if you had Gunther lose the IC title, win Money in the Bank, and then he catches in for the main event. There's how you get to Gunther versus Cody, which would be a hell of a main event. Yeah, I think that's why they did the whole Gunther #1 and last all the way through. And it should have been reversed. It should have been Cody doing that. But I mean, when you do that with a heel like Gunther, if you give him Money in the Bank now, he'll be an actual credible person to have that briefcase. Like, what a concept! You give somebody who we believe will win the title when they have the briefcase.
Yeah,
just imagine him having the briefcase. We would actually believe that he can cash that at any time and will win. Who would doubt that he wouldn't win? It's actually believable. And then so you could do that. You could have Drew McIntyre. You can have Sheamus challenge him. It all depends. I think because Roman held the title for so long, you got to do some kind of rematch somewhere. And one of the maybe at Money in the Bank, or SummerSlam or something. You got to give Roman his automatic rematch. I mean, who's going to hold the title for close to 1,000 days and then not get a rematch? It just automatically ride into the sunset and go for a break. I mean, and that wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, like to me, the only thing I can convince myself into if Reigns loses at WrestleMania is they're going to go full-fledged bloodline explosion
Yeah.
after that for the summer into SummerSlam, and then Roman might head off to like take the holidays off or whatever. I don't know. I just can't.
Maybe.
I can't convince myself. All these people that are so confident with Cody going over, I just can't. Like, to me, this is a moot conversation because I can just wait until let's talk about SummerSlam. Then I'm going to be more open to life after Roman is champion. But I know people are out there. They can't wait for this match just a little more now because they want to see Cody beat Reigns to stick it to me. And that's why I'm here. But all right, Aaron, over to you.
Yeah, it's just interesting because Roman is so close to that 1,000 days as champion. Now, we've talked about this before, the idea of splitting the titles again, and maybe Roman Reigns, we have 5 weeks until WrestleMania. Maybe Roman Reigns, when they do the inevitable contract signing, you know it's coming. Maybe Roman Reigns says, I'm only defending one title. You're not worthy of getting both titles. And that's when the WWE title is on the line at WrestleMania. Cody perhaps wins in that case. And Virtue, if it is for one title, I would definitely pick Cody. If it's for both titles, I'm not so sure because I think you might be right. It could be a scenario where Roman Reigns retains and then gets to 1,000 days. Cody has to chase, go through several people, and then face Roman Reigns at the SummerSlam Premium Live event. But if it's for one title, the WWE title, I would go with Cody Rhodes to win. Maybe he turns it into the Winged Eagle. Fans have been wanting to see that. Cody has teased it. But you know what? WWE, they like having the big W title because the celebrities, the sports figures hold up the titles in championship celebrations, and it gets WWE publicity. But you know what? You split the titles again, everybody's happy. Cody Rhodes can get the Winged Eagle. The old school fans will be happy. WWE's happy. You can keep the Universal title. Roman Reigns gets to 1,000 days as Universal Champion. And it's win-win for everybody. So maybe they're going to do an angle between now and WrestleMania to split up the titles again. I think that that's a realistic possibility. Now, if Cody does win, I mean, if he loses, then obviously they build up. I think it's not a matter of if he wins, but when. You build him back up so he gets another opportunity at the championship.
Time out, Aaron. This stupid mark. 1,000 days doesn't mean 1,000 days doesn't mean nothing. No, I don't understand the hype. You're such a clueless mark. 1,000 is an even number, and it's a T-shirt. It's product placement. It's bloodline T-shirts and merchandise. It's something to brag about. Come Roman Reigns' end of his career, when they're hyping the Hall of Fame induction, wrestling's a work. He's clearly their top guy the last so many years, and they're building him as one of their all-time greats. And that's why you do it, because he had haters for so long. You give them reasons to like, well, I don't know if we can really hate Roman. They had him at the top for 3 years during the pandemic. And I just schooled you. If we were on a debate, you would have just got crushed.
I want to see. I want him to hit the 1,000. I actually do want it.
Yeah, and it's not like we're never going to get Bruno numbers. That was a different era, like Aaron said. We're never going to come close to 7-8 years. But like when you're so close to that big 1,000, just imagine that on a T-shirt on the side of a truck with the bloodline pictures going to the next event for SummerSlam. That means so much marketing. Okay. That's why I consider this a possibility. All right, Aaron.
And that could be the story right there, or the main event,
it's
or whatever.
Money.
Whatever main event that'll make him hit to 1,000. That's the story you tell. Is he gonna hit the 1,000, or is this person?
And
gonna
you come so far.
Yeah, you market
it. That's like what?
Yeah, you have to take that into consideration. The marketing of 1,000 days. Can Roman get to it? That one last big match before it hits 1,000. When is that? Somebody find out. When is the next premium live event before? Is it Backlash? Somebody let me know the next premium live event. Or
I wish that
right
day,
before he hits 1,000.
I wish that day would fall on a Monday or Friday too. Like you could actually have a match dude, imagine the ratings for that show on a Raw or SmackDown.
Somebody get me the stat. The premium live event that's right before he hits 1,000. I want to know that.
Or
And,
if the 1,000-day would be on a Monday or a Friday, that would be a good stat too.
Michael Wayne says it would be that next Saudi Arabia show, the King and Queen of the Ring, which is what is rumored.
It says he'll hit it $1,000 on Saturday, May 27th, 2023.
Oh, so wait a minute. Then that means he would actually hit it before the event then, technically. So it would have to be Backlash because he'll be 1,000 days at that Premium Live event.
And
I was wishing it was on a day of an event. That would have been so good.
And you have to book against a really, really credible opponent who look like they have a chance of ending it. Like you have to do that.
Yeah, but what's $1,000? You thinking of money right now, Walter?
1,000 days. Sorry,
you said $1,000. You want
$1,000? All right, Aaron. Any super chats? I mean,
yeah, we got quite a bit here, so
Okay,
let's get to some of them. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. Says if he was healthy, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That is a really good idea for post-WrestleMania. They have the history. Randy Orton comes back. He can always go back and forth between heel and face. But yeah, definitely we got to get a full-blown Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes storyline before Randy retires.
Then Cody could kill his legend. He'll be the legend killer, and Randy Orton will be the legend.
There you go. I like it. Styles Clash 619 sent in a $2 super chat. Says Cody wins at WrestleMania and Gunther versus Cody at SummerSlam. Well, yeah, like you guys mentioned.
Would you go to Detroit, or obviously, would you go to SummerSlam, Aaron, for that match?
I mean, I'll go regardless.
Okay.
They could put Omos versus Cody, and I'll probably go to SummerSlam.
I just talked myself into thinking Gunther might win the Money in the Bank now. Like, after I said that, now I'm thinking about it like, he might be the one to do it.
Like, if Roman wants a summer off where there's going to be a big bloodline explosion and they don't want the title on for that, then I'm, that's to me the only way Cody can win at WrestleMania. Because,
right.
I don't know.
And maybe that's what it'll be. Yeah, so Rob Thompson said in the chat 999 days would be on a Friday. So I guess that would be right before the
May 26th
Saudi Arabia show. So they could do that on the SmackDown right before Saudi Arabia. They could do like a really big match. They could do the title change. Maybe they won't do it at WrestleMania. Maybe they have Cody beat Roman on that SmackDown at 999.
Aaron, I just thought of something. I don't know. Like we think SummerSlam. Like if Roman's still a champion, could you imagine if he hits 1,000 days and then they do like the ceremony, and that the Money in the Bank winner cashes in? Oh my God! That night to break up the ceremony. Just another possibility. Just another possibility.
Whoever that is will be an instant
They did that
star.
at Survivor
That'll
Series.
be so smart. That'll
back
be
in
so
2015.
Smart.
You never
when
know.
Roman won the title and then Sheamus cashed in on him.
I hope there's somebody there that can lay out all the different scenarios so they can kind of look at them on a dry erase board, whatever, and be like, and then do a vote, whatever it comes down to. Ultimately, Triple H is like, let's go this direction. Just so at least they looked at all the possibilities here, because this just does not happen all the time, and it may never happen for a long, long time again.
And that's what you love about the story. There's so many turns they can take. It can go so many ways. Like literally, it really can.
Okay, Aaron, more super chats.
All right. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. Thank you for that. Says Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at SummerSlam. If Cody wins at WrestleMania, yeah, you could have John Cena challenge Cody for the title. I'd be down for that. Why not?
And he could just say he wants to break the record.
Yeah, isn't John Cena still going for the record?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What is it? 17-time champion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine that.
He could come back.
They should.
And
you know what?
Thugonomics stuff. Detroit.
Since Cena versus Reigns already happened at SummerSlam, they could, if Roman Reigns retains at WrestleMania for that 999th day, they could do John Cena versus Roman Reigns one more time, and Cena could make one last effort to try to get to 17. They're each trying to reach a record. Like that would be huge for SmackDown. Huge rating.
It would.
And Psycho Jet Black sent in another $2. He's going to town tonight with the super chats. Says Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar in
Country Redacted.
Thank you for that, Psycho Jet Black. Much appreciated. And then he sent in another $2. Says Cody Rhodes defends against each member of the bloodline should he win the title. But you know what, Virtue? You mentioned this, like the bloodline potentially having their problems, and that's the post-WrestleMania storyline. So they may be busy. I think it would be more likely like a Randy Orton comes back, or even Matt Riddle goes heel and feuds with Cody Rhodes after WrestleMania, and then they could eventually build up Gunther versus Cody. I think that's more likely.
Maybe just Solo can do it because Solo's got star written all over him if you do that right.
Yeah, you're right on that. And Building Next has sent in a $2 super chat. Cody versus Randy Orton if the Viper's career isn't over. And I think Randy's coming back pretty soon. There's definitely
no one else said
out there.
Logan Paul.
Oh God. Don't put that out in the universe.
That wouldn't be a bad match, Cody Logan. Logan's doing well.
No one said
you can hate on Logan all you want, but he's taking wrestling serious.
I mean, Cody fought the Arrow guy, so why not? He's used to fighting celebrities. He can take on another one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Psycho Jet Black's got a couple more here. Says, here's a little clue about Vince. If Vince was in charge, we would have Cody Rhodes versus Baron Corbin.
We did 2 weeks ago on Raw. Cody beat him.
Well, we'd have it again. We'd have it like 5 times.
He means for the title. I think.
Yeah. And one more here from Psycho Jet Black. Thank you for the super chats. Psycho Jet Black says, seriously, this won't happen, but imagine Cody holding on to the title into 2024 when MJF jumps ship to WWE and destroys Cody to be the world champion. Hey, never say never. Stranger things have happened over the years.
Bidding war of 2024.
I'm just a little afraid that MJF might be a big fish or a little fish in a big pond the opposite way in WWE. He might not be the same person.
And Styles Clash 619 sent in a $2 super chat. Says you got to see Cody versus Styles before Styles is done.
Yes,
There's another idea.
There's
when
another
AJ
one.
Styles returns, he's another guy that could have a great pay-per-view match with Cody Rhodes. There's a lot of guys. Like there's a whole bunch of fresh matchups. It's just a matter of when does Cody get it? Does he get it at WrestleMania, or do they hold off and wait until SummerSlam and have him chase a little bit longer?
Coming into WrestleMania, I want to see Roman Reigns on TV every week. They better figure this out. That's the main event of WrestleMania, and it's just so frustrating when. And I know it gives the other part of the bloodline and everybody else more shine, but like Roman better start being there on a weekly basis to build this match with Cody.
I don't know about Cody winning that. Like, I'm with you, Virtue. Like, the chase is just better for a face to just keep chasing until they finally get it. To get it on your first, I don't know. Like,
and the way they do screw jobs to keep Roman as champion, that's their safe bet. Like, I want to see a clean finish, but they could do a screw job. Maybe they're saving Jay for the screw job until WrestleMania, and that's how Roman keeps it. And then all of a sudden now Cody that'll give Cody a reason to get another opportunity for SummerSlam, and there's your chase. So, like I said, write all the different scenarios down and have a consensus, figure out the best one. That can be done with people, level-headed people. And Vince McMahon isn't, is he or isn't he part of these decisions? If he's not, then they can definitely pick the right one.
Here's something
will be nuclear.
Here's something that 100% is not happening. Maybe Naomi costs Cody the match, and then Brandy Rhodes has to get revenge and go after Naomi.
The hate too, like the heat that oh my god, he conquered Sami and Cody. Like the hate Roman would get would be even better.
Right.
Any other super chats?
No, we're caught up. Great discussion, guys.
Well, we did it again. Another great review. I think we got up to triple digits on our live viewers too. Back to the normal time, Aaron. People love watching us at 8 p.m. on Sunday.
And it's for 1 week because Revolution's on Sunday next week.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get back to our routine and stick that course for a while. But WrestleMania is going to screw it up, yeah.
Psycho Jet Black's got more. We got to keep going until his bank account runs out here. He says, worst case scenario, Roman Reigns drops the title to Goldberg.
No. Don't put that out there. Psycho Medic got his taxes back.
That's done. That's over with.
I seriously think that's done. I don't think we have to worry about gold.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me
Yeah.
thinking about that contract now. The contract signing, because you could use Heyman. If Heyman slips that wording in there that it was only for one title, and you can reveal that he only won one title. Like, even if you don't say it, just after he pins him, he was like, you didn't win both titles. Like, that would be a whole nother story. You can go so many ways with this.
Aaron, we caught up?
Yep.
Yes. Let's see if we can get out of here. No DQ after dark tonight. All right. Another great show, gentlemen. Let's go around and do our plugs. We know the routine. Walter, I'll start with you.
You can follow me on Instagram at CalFire Farms. And then on Twitter, I'm just at Walter Alex Cruz. And thank you guys for having me up here again.
Yeah, that's where you can go get pot. Pot, weed, marijuana. Yeah. All right. Thanks for being on as always. You're one of the go-tos now. Every time we need somebody, you're always here. Big G used to be that guy. Now he's like a special guest.
I am. I'm the special attraction, baby.
All right.
He's
go
the
ahead.
Brock Lesnar of the No DQ review.
There you go.
No, you know who he really
is. He's too busy scouting Jeff Jarrett. So
he's always finding a way to get on the video when he needs to. Much like Jeff Jarrett always finds a way to get on national television when he needs to.
He finds a way to win a main events when he needs to.
Oh, my God.
Big G finds a way to get on the review one way or another when he wants to.
All right, Big G, your turn for your plugs.
Yes. Aaron, if you want to throw it up real quick.
Okay. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2
Oh,
super chat.
Jesus.
Says, Virtue, what are your top 5 favorite Roman matches? Wow, he's putting you on the spot.
Wow, he really did get his taxes.
I mean, top 5 is a little bit much, but like, God, I don't even.
I can't name them. Can't name them. You love Roman so much you couldn't just think of it.
No,
right
because
off the
there's a
top of
lot.
your head.
Because there's a lot of them that I have. I mean, I could say one of them is probably the Hell in a Cell match versus Bray Wyatt, because everybody says Bray Wyatt can't wrestle. That was a hell of a match.
You could say Reigns versus Lesnar.
Logan Paul match was really great. He's had great matches against Daniel Bryan. I think it was at a what was that match? Well, the last one, but I swear it was before WrestleMania one year. Was it like called Roadblock or one of those type of pay-per-views? Him and Daniel Bryan had a fantastic match. The Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam with the tractor.
Yeah.
What about Big Show? He had a couple good matches with Big Show. He had a good match with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I was just going to say that one year Braun Strowman looked good against him. He had a couple great matches against Braun Strowman.
The pay-per-view where all 3 Shield members held the title.
There you go. Yeah, so he had some good matches, despite what people think. All right, and Psycho Jet Black sent in another $2 super chat.
Oh my God.
Big G, what are your top 5 favorite Jeff Jarrett matches?
The only one that comes to mind right now is the one against China where he lost.
Good housekeeping. That was the best Jeff Jarrett match of all time when China kicked his ass.
Because I never watched any of his stuff in Impact, WCW, I watched some stuff. WWE, I watched some stuff with him, but other than that.
I like when he beat Razor Ramon for the IC title.
I'm going back to Roman. He's at the Sami Zayn match. It's so new, I don't even have it in my list yet. The Jey Uso match from the pandemic.
Yes.
There's a lot of them. And you know what? One of these days, I will rank them for you and at least give you my true top 5.
You need to do another State of the Roman Empire.
I know.
For sure. Psycho Jet Black sent in another $2 super chat. Walter, he directed this to you. Your top 5 favorite Gunther matches.
Oh man, I say the best one is Gunther Sheamus. That was that's 5. Look, banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. That's 5.
Well, what about Dragunov? Dragunov and
Dragunov or Pete Dunne.
Dragunov, yeah.
I mean, he had a number of great ones in NXT.
He had enough. Yeah, his NXT run was beyond great. I said the top one is the Sheamus.
Mr. Tito said with $2. Thank you, Tito. Thoughts on Nikki Bella complaining about WWE?
Attention seeking.
I think she knows how to do an interview. She knows if she says things that are controversial, they'll get posted on all the wrestling sites, just like any other wrestler. They know, some people out there say NoDQ and all the other sites, they always just focus on the negative. Well, the fact is the wrestlers themselves, they know if they say something negative or they shoot, so to speak, that they're going to get headlines. And it's all about getting publicity, building up your social media followers, getting people to watch your live streams. So yeah, they by nature like to say controversial things to get in the headlines. And yeah, the wrestling sites, they want the traffic, so they will cover it. Bottom line. Had to throw that out there. Now, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, my 5 favorite Bella matches. Oh, no. Why would you do this to me? Nikki Bella versus Charlotte Flair when Charlotte won the title. That would be my top Nikki Bella match. Brie Bella versus Stephanie was not a bad match. I got 2. Sorry, that's all I got.
Well,
Sorry,
when Nikki
Caitlin.
came back from the broken neck, she put on a good match. Was she fun?
And Styles Clash 619 sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I'd argue Logan versus Roman is up there. Cena and Drew McIntyre as well, right? Right, Virtue?
Yeah.
You mentioned Logan.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all really solid Roman Reigns matches. Torvik23 sent in $5. Says, how can I get on one of these shows? Email me, nodqmisc@gmail.com, and we will get you on a future episode of the NoDQ review. We're looking for some new faces on, so definitely email me. That's what I would say to anybody out there that wants to be on. Email me, send me a video sample, and we'll get you on. And that's it. We're caught up, Virtue.
Go.
All right. Thank you, NoDQ Galaxy. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at NoDQ_Virtue, and we will be back again doing this again next time. So for Walter, for Big Gene, for Aaron Rift, I am Virtue. And be sure to check out NoDQ.com/merch. We will see you again next time. Good night, everybody.